Sir, I understand the importance of this task. However, focused on completing another task at hand. So could we find another time to discuss this? Now let's look at the third. Good day, everybody. This is Joel Samuel, your emotional intelligence counselor. Today, I'm excited to bring leadership burnouts, and under it, the setting of boundaries. And how exactly do we set, and why don't we set it? So, without much further ado, shall we? First question we have: what activities are draining me? Now, here is an interesting template. First, we will acknowledge them, and then we would express how we feel, our emotion. We'll be vocal about it. But skipping this would mean that somewhere down the line, our emotions might start to speak for themselves, even without we doing anything. And lastly, now how about giving or asking or providing or suggesting solution? I understand the task at hand is quite important, Mr. Andrews. Now we express how we feel. However, I'm unavailable during these hours, sir, to provide a solution. Let's suggest one. So could we find another time to discuss it? Next, we have what behaviors of others are making me uncomfortable? Well, their frequent interruptions during my work leave me feeling micromanaged. Sir, I understand the importance of this task. However, focused on completing another task at hand. So could we find another time to discuss this? Now let's look at the third. Context is criticism. Let's look at it. Well, after self reflection, let's see, maybe I feel a little bit of defensive and undervalued because probably my past efforts have been overlooked. Hence, I get defensive to what makes them say any feedback because positive have been overlooked. Probably this kind of emotion related to the past experiences have been, working in us. We need to resolve it in a positive manner. We can say something like this. Well, Mr. Steven, I appreciate your constructive feedback. I genuinely do. However, feels as if my efforts are being overlooked. But could we also focus on the positives? Recognizing what is working can help me to improve more effectively. We just acknowledged that we appreciate their constructive feedback. Sometimes, we don't have to fear about being expressive. And if we aren't genuine about our emotion, well, how are people going to understand? Language is meant for expressing what we feel as our emotion. The next one is a classic about health and meeting expectations. How do I respond to others' expectations? And is it healthy the way I respond? I mean, let's look at it. So, let me think. I often meet expectations, that's for sure, at the expense of my well being. So, this is just a sample, but it's made us to think, thought provoking, if you will. Well, Mr. Barrington, I understand the importance of this task. However, I'm compromising my health and personal time. Could we find another way to manage this, please? Here's an interesting one. It's very deep. It's about really answering what can the root cause be. Let's look at it. Why am I ignoring this burnout? We know it's there. Well, why don't we just sit back? Why don't we just address to this burnout genuinely? Well, you can ask yourself, am I being afraid of something? Probably, do I wish to avoid a certain situation or repercussion? Probably you are aware about a certain person's certain reaction. Probably you know that deep down you can handle it differently, but you're suppressing it because of so many things. Probably, how do I begin? Where do I begin? What do I do? So I hope that this template helps, beginning with acknowledging them all to ourselves. Well, we can address this to Mr. John in this manner. Well, Mr. John, I realize I've been pushing myself to meet the expectations, even at the cost of my well being. As a result, it has led to a burnout, which is affecting my productivity. Once, as we start applying it, between learning and mastery is practice. Most importantly, belief. We must believe in it. Now, for the suggestion, sometimes we don't even have one. We do know that we need to address it and have it. So we can say something like this: I would appreciate some support in finding healthier options or adjustments. Let's look at the next one. How often do they respect my boundaries when I make them? It's a good question. Well, they seem to ignore my boundaries. They continue with their frequent after hours calls. Disrupts my family and personal time. And address it this way, Mr. Mark. I've noticed that my boundaries aren't always respected when I have made them. As a result, I feel undervalued. Solution: I would appreciate if my after hours with my family could be respected. Yeah, we've given them a genuine reason. After hours, and what am I doing? And with family, what needs to be done with it? What do I expect? Respect it. That's how we can go about this.